Welcome to the Smoke That Then Is Off Air. It's the Jiraga Award-winning host, Sean Magavu, and today we have a special guest. You know, Poland is a lot of young people, but not many of us are married. But then today, in spirit and in flesh, we have a married person, Mukoma Prince. What do you think?
I'm okay. How are you, sir?
I know I'm very, very good. And you're one of the panelists at this pioneering event where people talked about love and feelings and emotions. So I'll ask the first question: what is love to you as someone who is married?
Okay. To me, love is just like a human being. It's a process that is in a process. Like for me, I feel like love is an ongoing thing which we continuously discover. That's why I find out that we don't end in understanding what love is. We always have to learn something. It's more like a project to me in which you need to review, you need to put on the key factors and everything. So to me, love is like a huge thing that we cannot actually define or come to an end of what it is.
And I think that is a perfect answer. And I think one of the most telling things you said this evening was most of the young people in Poland are not in relationships; they are in pseudo marriages. So I'm gonna ask you again, what did you actually mean?
I meant that when we are talking about relationships, we are talking about studying each other in order for you to get into a marriage. But then, when you're actually doing everything in which married people are doing, we cannot say that you are in a relationship, you are in a light marriage. So when you are saying that now you've moved on, I was saying that you did not move on from a relationship, but you are a divorcee in motion. Yes. So to me, when I look at I'm not saying it's everyone though, most of the relationships, they are doing what married people are doing actually. Maybe because it's Poland where people don't have people that are looking after them, or maybe people now, when you're here, most of people have a false image because everyone just staying here, very far away from home, and everyone can live sort of like a similar lifestyle. So it comes from the environment, but at the same time, the values in which we take, the values in which we bring into our relationships, maybe are borrowing them from the Polish people, I don't know, because that's what they do. I asked someone, she was telling me that you are in a relationship, the next thing you have moved in with that person. That's what they believe here. But us, from where we come from, our makeup, our Ubuntu, our upbringing, what makes us, the values that we have is we wait to do certain things until we are married. So that's what I meant when I said that these are not relationships, they are just marriages that are breaking up and whatever.
The situational marriages. And talking about Ubuntu, one thing that I thought has always lagged in Poland is we don't have a proper system to take care of each other. So, for example, some people come here like really young and they might not listen to their parents as much because their parents don't understand how hard it is to be in a place where everyone is different from you, and there are like so many changes that come with that. And I also been once suggested for us to take a room where we meet and we just talk. Do you feel like that lack of mentorship or that lack of anatete, nanakule, to tell us and direct us is the main cause of this?
Yes. Definitely that one is a huge point that you've brought up. Because, there's a big difference when you see a child who has been raised by their parents until marriage and a child who did not grow up in a setup like that. So when you see a child who has left their parents and they are now staying in Poland, or not Poland, it's like maybe in another country, trust me, they are experiencing a new lifestyle, probably which their parents did not even experience. So to them, it's a new thing that they're experiencing. Maybe they will face culture shock or exposure shock where they're like, so now I'm finally free. I can now try whatever. You have a lot of ideas in your head where you want to try things. So that voice which comes from your parent to tell you that, my son, you don't need to do this thing until such and such and such, is actually different from when we hear it, maybe even from me. It won't sink in the same. But then when you are with your parents and they're always telling you that, you need to do it this way, you need to be like this, you need to be like this. There are values in which you keep within you. There are values which will always groom you. There are values which will always be, like, you always be in check and in reminder. But now, funny thing is, even the parents who are back home, if they call you to remind you, my son, always to be like this, like this, like this, it's easy to lie to them because they don't even know yet. You can be in your girlfriend's house and you say, I'm home, on a video call. They don't know yet. So I think that one, we really need that remachina that talked about. It's important to bring reminders to people and also to just, take care of each other here because we don't have those people who can take care of
The support system. And now talking about, obviously, you as a married man, how has it been like being married and then your wife still being in Zimbabwe?
It was hard. The hardest thing is, I would say the first thing is, when you encounter an idea that you want to leave Zimbabwe to another country, you always have the ideas in your head that, I think it's going to be like this. It's going to be like this. You have those dreams, it's going to work well. Like they say that, it's like an ATM where you think you're just going to be taking money, So it was great from the first that this is the idea. But then I was hit with a reality shock that, I was not taught how to live away with the people that I grew up with. That was the greatest thing that affected me because I didn't know that it's hard for me to live without him. That affection, that closeness, always being on the phone, talking together, the challenges that we're trying to tackle, it was not easy until we finally managed to make papers for her so that she can come this side. But like I told you, the bond that we had because of marriage is the one which actually cemented whatever that we wanted to do. For me, it was either I was going to go back or she was going to come here, which is unlike someone who is not married. So, yeah.
So you think that like obligation of marriage is what kept you guys together? Because like you said, if it's like a light marriage relationship, it's easy to break, it's fragile. So I think that is quite amazing. And probably the last question that was mentioned, and I think this was one of the highlights of the evening, was on pre-arranged marriages, going back, to all the olden days where your wife is picked at a certain age and that is your soulmate for life. So what's your take on that?
I support that one. It's done mainly, I think, by Indians, or I don't remember. If you have watched those movies, I support it, though it's not done nowadays. People just have to choose whatever they want. I support that idea because, when it's a pre-arranged marriage, those families would have actually looked into the other families. They have done the ground checks, like to know what these guys believe, what are their values, how they raise their children, which business they are in. Because, when you are joining those forces, you're not only joining you because you love that person. There is a future ahead of you. You can actually get married and then your life will go down. It's possible. You can get married and then your life will go up. So when it's a pre-arranged, someone has been chosen for you. They have done all the checks. They know that person. They know the family you are joining into. They know that this family is going to work with us. So it's good. For me, I would have really loved it also. But, I had to choose for myself. I don't regret it. I'm very happy about it. But it was going to be good for everyone else.
And I think one thing that I'll definitely give you accolades for is in this whole interview, there's one thing that's been consistent, and that's been your love for family. When you talked about the young people, they said they lack that family structure, and you said it was so important for you to have that family, and you even said that Remachina was a good idea. And I'll end this interview by asking you, is there anything you'd want to tell to the youth in Poland? You've been here for quite a long time, that you think can help them?
Yeah, I have a lot to tell the youth. It's a lot. Trust me, it's a lot. That's why I even ran out of time that around. I think I'll start by saying the values that we have determine where we go. And we shouldn't lose the values that we have just because we are now in a new environment, in a new setup and in a new thing. even though everything is new, but if you have seen, we are in a broken environment where people have broken families and they have broken connections. So if you are going to run a check or a survey of how many relationships are going to start from college and end up in marriage, you will see that that number is not really satisfying. That's why other people fly back home to get married or to marry someone, or maybe them getting married. So I think people should always remember who they are, no matter the environment that you are in, no matter how much you have been exposed. No, other people are very young. Other people are 19, 20, 21. They have been exposed to a lot of risk. But I would say, remember who you are. Remember your personality. Don't just lose yourself just because the next person is doing the same, or maybe in the name of saying this is the new trend. Yeah, that's what I would just say.
And thank you so much, Mukoma Prince. I've learned a lot in this interview, and yeah, it was so good for you to speak on the panel, because we do look at you as one of the shoulders we can lean on, for advice, one of the people we can look up to. And thank you so much for being our guest. This has been the Smoke That Thunders Off Air, and that's a cut.